So I think this is a way to go for digital fashion. I don't think it should stay just in digital space itself, but digital fashion really enables fashion designers to explore more spaces and to connect physical with digital as well. So I'm interested in what's coming next. I'm interested to see how designers will connect these spaces together.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of NEWFORUM, where we bring you awesome creators, founders, visionaries, fashion designers on our Web3 podcast. And NEWFORUM is powered by New Foundation, and it's our aim to spark informative and educative conversations on the topics of crypto, the metaverse, fashion design, and so much more. And on today's episode, I'm super thrilled because I'm with Marina from the Tribute brand team. And Tribute brand is a high-end digital fashion house, and they have been known for making quite a wave since a while in the space. And I'm excited to talk with Marina today about their next collection, what they're doing at Tribute, and the story behind the brands. Hi, Marina. Happy to have you here.
Hi, Joyce. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm glad to share some details about Tribute brand, how we got together, how we planned the future, and what's been going on in the meantime.
Amazing. So when I first stumbled across Tribute, I was super amazed because I feel like it was like a breath of fresh air and something I haven't seen before. So I would love to know from you, Marina, the founding story of Tribute and how you came up with this unique style and fashion.
Actually, I started with Tribute in 2019. I met Gala and Philip while they were still having their physical fashion brand. And we got together on kind of the transitioning part from physical to digital. They made a decision to start the digital fashion. And the foundation idea of Tribute brand came in 2017 when Gala, she made her master degree in digital fashion. So at the School of Design, she presented a project with AR digital fashion. So she wanted to develop her idea into a bigger project. And when we met in 2019, Gala said we want to start a digital fashion project. It's like something you can see in AR filters and in skins in games and so on. So we want to make it like a fashion that people can wear on social media, in games, everywhere that it's digital. And at the time I said, yeah, I can see it. Let's go, let's do it. So we started in 2019, just three of us. Soon Igor, our CTO, joined a couple of months later. And then exactly at 1 month afterwards, we launched Tribute brand as a kind of a pilot project. We wanted to see how the market reacts to the fashion, to these 3D designs, to shirts that are digital, to kind of physical clothes that are made digital, how people would react to it. So it was very interesting to see first reaction to the brand, and it was always this reaction similar to what you had, like, is this something that's real? This looks new. We don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. We want to know more about it. So these were all the initial reactions that we got, and we kind of built the brand upon that in the future. So these were the starting points for Tribute brand. And fast forward 3 years after, we're 14 employees in the tech side, on the design side, and in fashion. And yeah, we're exploring new fields, new sides of fashion, new sides of tech, and it's been really interesting.
That is so interesting. I have to ask, but did the team before worked in traditional fashion or had any background in fashion at all? And we're like, we're gonna know, like, this is the future. We're going to try this. And also, was it like you said, it was an experiment, right? You didn't really know, okay, how this is gonna work out, but you showed it to an audience and they were quite loving it, as I understood it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was our first try on how people will react to the brand, because at the time when we started, we initially started with the whole product, with the whole digital experience, like how people will use the fashion. Will it be in AR? How are we going to market it? Is it going to be like an e-commerce site, or are we going to build a mobile marketplace? So we kind of had this big idea, and we wanted to test how it works in with real people in real market. And initially we didn't expect a lot of reactions, but as the time passed, it really got more interesting from the first point, and this kind of gave us the good motivation to push the brand forward.
That's amazing. And I'm wondering, what does the everyday today look like? You know, we never had, I feel like in history, like a digital fashion house yet. So you guys are pioneering it. And I'm wondering, what is the day-to-day like, and what are the current projects and collaborations that you work on that are super exciting to you?
In 2020, we started with Web2 e-commerce platform, where we sold the premium fitting service. As you can see many examples on Instagram, where people wear high quality renders of their photos. And since we wanted to expand our services and utilities into different spaces, such as metaverse and AR, we decided to go into Web3. And since a couple of months ago, we're working on a Web3 platform, both tech and design teams. We're working on the mobile app, and we're working on a series of collections that will come soon to the newly launched web and mobile app platforms.
Wow, other fashion brands, be aware, because Tribute is taking over here, you know. Yeah, we had Danny on, so I definitely love the pictures. I feel like they just add some spice on what they share so far on social media, and I feel like it's really it looks really amazing. And I'm wondering, so you're working on integrating AR, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And where do you see like the whole, maybe not just Tribute, because I know you cannot share all of your secrets, but maybe where do you see the brand and also the ecosystem of digital fashion in like the next 3 years?
I kind of realized that when we were working on a drop with a dematerialized platform. So it was our first NFT drop, was called The Real Deal. And we launched a collection that really had a good concept that was a crossover between physical, PHYGITAL, and digital. Like, we wanted to present three spaces that we want to dig into. And it was an interesting drop where we made one garment that has its form in physical, has its form in PHYGITAL and digital. And this was kind of our point in time when we realized that we want to keep all of the three spaces, and to experiment and to explore both physical and digital and everything in between. So I think this is a way to go for digital fashion. I don't think it should stay just in digital space itself, but digital fashion really enables fashion designers to explore more spaces and to connect physical with digital as well. So I'm interested in what's coming next. I'm interested to see how designers will connect these spaces together.
Yeah, I'm so excited because we see now slowly everyone is more and more adapting. I mean, people have been praising on digital fashion for a while, but I feel like now everyone, it's kind of really coming together, and I'm excited to see all of the new, just inspiring ideas from designers all over the world, and from Tribute brand especially. And I'm wondering, even if you think of a business model, what is the kind of like positive about having a digital fashion brand compared to like the regular brands? Why is it such an advantage? I mean, we know the sustainability aspect of digital fashion, but for me, I always like the idea of like you said, the phygital aspect, because it's just like you put more value again into your clothes, like the items you put in real life. It's like you kind of have to choose now, or you think a bit more, I think, if we move to that strategy. So I'm wondering, what's your thought on that?
So at the moment, I would say, since it's still quite a new area, it's the way you can play and experiment with different things. I think the whole kind of ecosystem where digital fashion exists, it's kind of fresh for fashion designers, because designers have more tools, some weird constraints they need to fit into, and it kind of gives interesting and unexpected results. And I think it also broadens the horizon of what fashion is in the first place, because it doesn't necessarily need to be a shirt or some kind of a dress or something that we're used to in a physical space. It can be anything that you want to use to express yourself as a person online or in physical life.
Yeah, totally. And you can be yourself. And I think it's great for all of the creators online who can just use other methods of just buying clothes. They can just reinvent themselves. And I'm wondering, what are some of the challenges that you face with digital clothes, like on the day-to-day, where you're like, these things were hard to overcome, or we're still working on it, kind of.
Yeah, so it's also interesting to see how our vision kind of shifted from day one to this point in time, because also when we started with some kind of a regular set of clothes that you would see in the street, but of course with a twist where you didn't know was it real or not real. But then we kind of shifted our mindset as well from this point in time to different kind of pieces. We wanted to experiment with different spaces, and then we made a pet wear collection, and then we moved on into metaverse and created some wearables for the central, and it was kind of multiple different approaches, but they had the tribute brand idea behind themselves. So this is interesting to see how things look different in different spaces, but you can still see the general idea behind the brand and the concept behind it.
So hearing that makes me curious, what is something that like goes off the digital racks the best, you know? Like, what is something, I see you guys are, it looks like you're doing a lot of dresses and really like flowy designs, like really fluid. It almost looks like it's liquid. And compared to like jeans or jackets, like what do you think is the people go for right now in digital fashion?
I think for us, what was also really nice to see that the garments that were more specific, more digital, and not something you would see in a daily life, like a bala dress, which is a kind of a balloon metallic dress. These kind of purely digital garments worked the best for us, and it was really nice to see how people react to these garments, how they pose for these garments, and how they react to the overall outcome. So this was really something that pushed us into the direction that digital and something that it's not purely clothes is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I talked to another founder the other day, and he was like, maybe we're going to have a digital punk revolution in the future, or we look back at like digital archives, and you know, all of these brands coming up now will be the new luxury. And I'm really curious to see how that all goes hand in hand with fashion weeks. And yeah, so Marina, would you like to share some advice for people getting into digital fashion, and also maybe how they can differentiate themselves as a brand and what to maybe take care of when they're building a fashion brand, for example?
So I'm just going to reflect on the time when we first got together as a few designers working on a new project. So at the time, I think all three of us had a really clear vision of what it will be. I think it's important to have a clear vision straight from the beginning. And of course, you can have an idea, you can have a plan for a new project, you can have a different kind of aspirations. But if that idea doesn't clear out in a few days or in a month, it's time to discard it. Just go with the idea that it's most clear to you.
And also, do you think it's something that you kind of have to have the same taste levels as the people you're working with, or do you think it's good to have one designer who thinks that way or that way? I'm always curious to know, because I feel like when people work for a brand, it's like they're all this union and they all share kind of similar taste levels, you know?
Yeah, actually, we are all kind of different, and we have different mindset, different backgrounds. For example, I don't have a background in fashion. I was a digital designer and a brand designer before, and I was working at a digital agency. And Igor, our other founder, he's mostly on tech background. So it's interesting to see overlaps between tech, fashion, and digital design and how it works together. But I think differences bring more interesting stuff and more interesting results. So I think if we would think as one, it wouldn't be the same result. I think difference brings more interesting stuff.
I love that, and
yeah,
that's really great. What is something that you're looking forward to in the future with Tribute?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot of things, new collections, definitely, because I've seen the teams working on great stuff lately. So as we're preparing different drops, I'm so excited about the new collaborations and new items that people will be able to buy or mint. And we also have some collaborations with some NFT artists for the upcoming drops, and we're also planning to launch some generative NFT drops in the future. So things will get quite interesting, both on the utility side and on the fashion side, because we didn't have that aspect of fashion yet in our drops. So we're looking really forward to these generative aspects of NFTs. To me personally, that's one of the most beautiful parts of obtaining and owning an NFT. So you have a unique piece that it's yours to share and to wear or to trade, whatever you want.
That makes me curious, like, what is the difference for the community who doesn't know? What's the difference between a generative NFT and a normal NFT?
So you can approach NFTs in different kinds of ways. You can have a series of NFTs that are, each NFT is unique, but they're maybe made manually or they're pre-produced. But the generative aspect of an NFT really makes it unique, because you get a set of properties that are unexpected. They're based on the scarcity and rarity, and each piece will be unique, and you won't be able to pre-assume what you're gonna get out of an NFT.
So is it like, for example, you create a dress or you create a bodysuit and then it changes, let's say you drop a collection with that bodysuit and you make like 20 of them, 20 NFTs, and each one is a bit different, or how can I imagine that to be?
So it can work in many ways. I can give you an example of a project I recently looked into. It was a generative music project where an artist launched 5,000 songs. Each song is unique. So you get 2 or 3 minutes of a sample that you can use in your videos. You can use as your soundtrack. You can upload it to Spotify. And 5,000, they're one collection, and they each have their own like video and their own set of samples. So they are from the same collection. They have the same concept, but each of these pieces is different. One has vocals, one has kind of let's say a different beat. One has jazzy beat. So it's kind of based on traits. You get a unique piece that you can own.
That's really interesting. I imagine it now with, I don't know, like a dress, one having like a feather or one having like a see-through. Like it's really interesting because it's it really has that collector value for people then, you know, like it really brings some utility of collecting the NFT as well, and having something unique obviously is from a brand is the best thing you can do, and if you're an early supporter. Marina, thank you so much for joining me today. Where can we find the Tribute community on the social platforms?
So you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. Discord will soon be launched to activate the community about the new drop. So I invite you to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and join our Discord as well.
Amazing. Get in there early, because we don't know if it will be sold out. So, you know,
things are going to get pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you want to miss out on this. So thank you, Marina, and thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Make also sure to follow us on Twitter, and we have a Discord, and I'm going to link all of Marina's links and Tribute's links as well as our links in the bio. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you, Marina.
Thank you so much, Joyce.